Hello everybody, it's Mayen and I wanted to show you a quick tutorial on how to make the top part of the baby carriage. So it could look like a baby bassinet. So I'm going to run through the materials that we're going to use, and also I'm going to throw in some tips as I show you the items. So we're going to use gum paste. So for figures, we prefer to use gum paste instead of fondant. So I realize sometimes beginners get to see my later videos and they get all these questions. So I'm going to try to answer that. We're going to need white and pink for this particular design. You can use whatever color you want. So I already rolled out the fondant. It's going to be about this thick. I'd say about 1/4 inch thick. And in making the baby carriage, you're just going to need, let's say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different parts. So we're also going to need Tylos if you're working with fondant and you're turning it into gum paste. You can work with marshmallow fondant or store-bought fondant. For me, I prefer just buying Wilton's fondant and turning it into gum paste. It's not going to be eaten, so taste will not be an issue. I also discovered that I can also use gum tex. In a weird way, I'm almost out of my Tylos and this worked. So this is more readily available in your local craft stores like Michael's, Joann's, and AC Moore. So others will say you don't use it. Well, for me it worked, so it could be like a emergency kind of thing and you can use it in lieu of Tylos powder. In coloring your fondant, you can go out and buy gel colors like this for neon colors. You can also get the smaller ones from Wilton and they're available in your local craft store. We're also going to need edible Tylos glue or Tylo glue, which is made by using 1 part Tylos powder with 30 parts water. So it's 1 teaspoon of this and 30 teaspoons of water. Mix it, put it in the fridge overnight, and then the next day it turns into clear glue. Alright, so for the first part we're going to need the base of the baby carriage, and for me I just use a cutter and just make a oval shape in whatever size you want. So you can just alter the shape with your hand. See, if you're working with gum paste that's in its ideal consistency, you're not going to have any problems with sticking and stuff. So let it stand there. And then we're going to need alright, so for the second part, we're going to need the side of the baby carriage. If you want patterns on the side, you could use what we call an impression mat. So for this one, you could just use your hand or kind of use a rolling pin to add pressure. And just continue the design. And these impression mats come in so many designs, so let's just use this for this one. Alright. I think that's going to be enough. Alright. Let's make a cut. About 1 inch or so, depending on how big you would want your I'm going to make a quick measurement. Now this is just exactly how I do it. Obviously I don't measure, which is a bad thing. But if you could, if you're more comfortable measuring stuff, then go ahead and do it. Alright, so what we're going to do now is just glue the edges and this one. So I'm just gonna do that, not consume time, and I'll come back for the... Alright, so I already glued the bottom of the carriage to the sides, and so these are 2 parts. The third part we're gonna need is where we're gonna attach the wires. So we're just gonna add a big blob of gum paste on this side, and we're gonna put in the wires. So if you're turning fondant into gum paste, when do you know that it's ready? When you pull it apart like this, and it's easy. With fondant, it really stretches like so much. So you pull it apart and it doesn't resist, then you're pretty much ready. So some people might not like this design because you may see the wires in a way, but let's see how this will go. Right, it's gonna look like a pillow inside your baby carriage. So I won't recommend this particular design if you want to put the baby in there. You will know later. So that's 1, 2, 3, and then you're gonna need 20 gauge wires, which you could get at your local craft store. So it's 20 gauge.